In this video, I want to show you the dumbbell deadlift. I want to talk about a couple things first before we get started. First off, one of the things you really want to pay attention to because we're using dumbbells is the fact that they're going to be much lower to the ground than if you were using a barbell with a traditional larger plate. Even using lighter weight, you might be using a bigger plate. Okay, and what that does is when I do my deadlift, I start often right about here and I can reach that position. The dumbbells are going to be lower, so you might not have the flexibility, and you might find yourself here. Okay, so with that being said, if you have a bench or a box at home or at the club, then we've got a box at the club, then you can put the dumbbells on top of the box or the bench so they're up nice and high so you can grab the dumbbells, step back, and then get into your set, and then you can step forward, put the dumbbells, squat them down, deadlift them down to the box or the bench. It's going to put you in a better position. Now, for anybody who doesn't have that, I'm going to demonstrate this way just so you can see. Now, the other thing you got to pay attention to is you might find that you have to put your feet a little bit narrower than maybe you would want to or you normally would with a barbell, just so the dumbbells aren't knocking into you. Okay, you got to be able to keep them out, but you don't want to be straining yourself, keeping the dumbbells out really, really wide here. You want it to be natural, so you might just come in a little bit narrower with your feet, and that's okay, as long as you have the flexibility and the mobility. That being said, range of motion. So this is not a Romanian deadlift where we're just pushing the hips back. This is a traditional deadlift where hips are going back, we're also bending at the knees. It's what we call a knee bending deadlift. Your range of motion on this, I want you to really pay attention to how deep you go. You want to get as deep as you can without rounding the back. And that doesn't mean you have to stay upright. Okay, it's a deadlift, so we're going to hinge. So it's a squat and a hinge. So hinging is fine. Rounding is not. That's the difference. The one place you may have to round, if you don't have something to elevate your dumbbells, it may be on that first and that last repetition. So you're just going to be super careful with that. So we come down into position. You might start with a wider stance on the pickup and the put down because that will give you more depth. Okay, so we push the hips back. Okay, get in position. Right now, ideally, you don't want to be pulling from here. Right, so I'm going to set my hips down. And it's like I'm pulling myself into a lower position. So I'm pulling on the dumbbell, not lifting them up, and bringing myself into a lower position, right? So here's obviously a bad position. I don't want to pick up from here. I want to pull myself into position. Now I'm in a strong position. Pick them up. Now I'm going to narrow my feet a little bit so that I can do my set more naturally. So soft knees, hips go back. Squat down as low as I can, and back up, and back up. Now for my last one, I'm going to go a little bit wider in my stance, and there I am, okay? And that's going to be the dumbbell deadlift. Just really pay attention to what's happening. Hinging, good, rounding, bad.